So will there be any big differences between Allen's command in Afghanistan compared to Petraeus's? Well, I put that question to Mark Kimmitt, a retired U.S. Brigadier Army General.
I really don't. Both of them are very experienced professionals. Both of them have worked well together in the past. I think it's going to be very much a seamless handover in terms of individuals. In terms of the strategy, in many ways the strategy has already been written. So General Allen is going to pick up the strategy that was developed by General Petraeus, and he'll be responsible for executing it.
And where does he stand on Pakistan's role?
Oh, he certainly understands that this is not simply a narrow subject of Afghanistan. It really is a regional issue, and from his perch at Central Command, he has been watching Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, that entire region that comes under the CENTCOM area of responsibility.
And with regards to training up Afghan security forces, are there enough resources as far as Allen is concerned? Does he need more trainers, more military teams on the ground in order to accomplish the president's goal?
General Caldwell, who's been running that program for General Petraeus, who will now run it for General Allen, has made very clear that he believes that they have sufficient resources, somewhere in the order of $11 billion for the Afghan security forces last year, upwards of $13 billion this year. And you bring up the most important point, which is the training of the Afghan security forces. Is there enough time? Are there enough resources? Are they of the proper quality? Because they really are the exit strategy for the United States forces.
So how is the United States going to get to that place, though? Because it's very easy to, I guess, to fall into this trap of always blaming President Karzai or blaming the Afghans for bad governance and not having, you know, the security forces up to scratch so that the United States can start pulling its troops out. How do you actually solve that problem on the ground, though, without getting into this kind of blame game of saying, you know, the Afghans need to do this and the Afghans need to do that? You know, what can the United States do to get the situation sorted out?
Well, a number of things. First of all, continue the development of the Afghan security forces. Ultimately, the Afghans themselves are responsible for their own security. They need to have a well-trained, well-equipped, and well-seasoned force so that when the United States and the other NATO forces pull out, that there's not a security vacuum left behind. Number two, focus on institutional building. It's not simply about the military. It's about making sure that the Afghans have a capability of extending the writ of the central government throughout the entire country.
And what do you think the dangers are of the rift right now with Pakistan?
That has to be dealt with. There's no doubt about it, because again, you can't focus exclusively on Afghanistan. Ambassador Munter in Pakistan, Ambassador Crocker in Afghanistan have got to understand, and do understand, that what happens in Pakistan affects what happens in Afghanistan. It can't be seen as separate lanes. I'll work Pakistan, you work Afghanistan. That's a recipe for disaster.
And I'll have more from the Americas later in the news hour. Now let's get you back to Sammy in Doha.